Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Black Girl Order. I'm your host, Anaya. And for today's episode, I'm going to be talking about toxic black parents or black parents in general. Now, a quick disclaimer. I may or may not be stating general statements that may apply to everyone that is not black, but I am speaking on behalf of the black community. Since the way that we behave today, the way that our generation acts, the way that we act as a people individually is a reflection of the way our parents raised us. Okay. So the first thing I want to say is there's two things that I don't think that you should have, or situations that you should be in when you are raising a child. The first thing is unhealed trauma. Now, I feel like a lot of black parents, they have unhealed trauma from their parents and past life experiences. And when they bring a child into the world, they use these trauma responses or to raise their child. And it's sickening and sad. I feel like before you have a child, you should seek help. Heal your trauma, heal everything that you got going on inside of you before you raise a child, so you know exactly what not to do, or what you were going to do when it came to raising that child. We black people need to stop raising their children off of fear and raise their children off of understanding. Raising their child as if they're people and not an authoritarian type of style, you know what I mean? Like a loving parent type of style. Like the way that we've gotten parent and dictator, mixed up kind of, is like, it's like weird. Also, if you're in poverty, you should not be raising a child. If you do not have the financial stability to withhold the needs of a child, then you do not need to be raising them. Now, before the socialists come for me and say, well, it's not their fault that capitalism affects how yeah, I know it's not their fault, and it sucks. In a perfect universe where we didn't have to worry about money and homelessness and EBT, food stamps, all that type of stuff, then of course raise a child. Of course, people can do whatever they want with their body. I'm not gonna tell nobody how to raise their child, but what's wrong is wrong. And if you bring a child into poverty, if you birth a child into poverty, then it's irresponsible. It's not a good look at all, in my opinion. But a child is supposed to be one of your most biggest expensive. You spend the most of your money on a child, and if you do not have the money to afford this expense, then don't birth that child. Now, I understand people make mistakes. I understand people can get irresponsible when it comes to having sex and wrapping it up in protection, but at the same time, it's unfair to the child that you birthed them into poverty. In my opinion, to each their own. But I don't think you should be birthing a child when you are not ready to have that child. So, a common trend I see amongst black parents. A lot of black parents, especially black moms, are homophobic. Like completely homophobic. Now, I'm not saying homophobic to an extent where they will disown their child because they are gay, because some of them won't. Homophobic to where they don't know how to shut their mouth. They don't know how to watch what they say. A lot of black people are Christians and they don't believe that you should be gay. So it reflects onto, it's still taboo to be gay. Taboo to be a gay teenager in a black household. Let people do what they want with their body, with who they like, because gay is something that you cannot control now. So no judgment should be there. You should be able to accept your child for who they are. Because a lot of black parents, they think that they want their child to be a reflection of them. They want their child to be what they want them to be, instead of what their child wants to be themselves. They want the best from their child, and the best from their child may not be what their child wants. They want us to fit into a certain place in society, the same place that they are in, so we can carry on and carry on and carry on through generations of trauma, generations of wrong, irresponsibility, all that type of stuff. I don't like it. I'm not going for it. And with that being said, generations of wrong, a lot of Black moms tend to put their sons on a pedestal, especially single Black moms. They put their sons on a pedestal and they make their daughters, it becomes jealousy sometimes. I'm not speaking from personal experience, but I see a lot of other Black girls, Black older sisters, who have to be the mom of the house when their mom is not holding their weight, but at the same time allowing their sons to be the person that their sons want to be. I don't know how to explain that, but it's a lot of double standards. Over sexualizing their daughters, a lot of too grown, a lot of don't be fast, but you are making your daughter older than she should be. You know, you're making your teenage girl be 30, but calling her fast. Calling her too grown. What a lot of Black parents do is they try to keep their daughters away from all this, you know, being grown by being strict. And instead of educating them on why this is what they should not be. And it makes their daughters more grown and more fast. The fast that you don't want your daughters to be. You don't want your daughter to have a baby at 16 and you're protecting her from sex, telling her not to, you know, dive into that type of stuff, not to indulge in that type of stuff, but yet you are not teaching her about her body at all, keeping her away from boys, keeping her away from that experience. I'm through with it, and instead of judging, it's time to be more understanding. A lot of parents act like they've never done that before. I understand not wanting your daughter to do it, like, you know, to be the type of teenager you were, but it's inevitable. I mean, it's inevitable for your daughter to experience her body, to experience herself. And you judging your daughter but not doing anything to your son whatsoever, that is so weird to me. Like, and especially with Black single moms, but you know, they put their sons on a pedestal because of their father that's not in their life. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a psychological thing. You know what I mean? On that note, the father situation, there are a lot of people with Black dads in their life. A lot of people with Black dads in their life. And it's a thing for Black dads not to be in your life. I don't know why, because my dad is very much present in my life. A lot of my friends' dad is very much present in their life, and I only got Black friends. So, but on the topic of dads, a lot of dads like to push this toxic masculinity, misogyny mindset that affects not only their daughters, but also their sons. Now, I can say from experience, because my brother, he, you know, he cries a lot. Instead of telling him, stop crying, stop being a sissy, you know, stop being a baby, tell him that his emotions are valid. You know, tell him that it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel emotion. Now, it's different when you're crying about something that, like, being spoiled. But stop, like, pushing this misogynistic or this toxic masculinity mindset where you shouldn't be crying because you're a man. Only girls cry. Only girls express emotion. Because then he's going to be afraid to be vulnerable when he gets older. And he's not going to be able to communicate his feelings properly. And that's why it is that like that for a lot of boys. That's why a lot of boys don't like expressing their feelings, don't like crying, especially around women, because they feel like it makes them less of a man when it makes you more of a human. And really, that is it. Okay, let's erase all these negative Black dad stereotypes. A lot of us do have dads. Okay, let's be the better generation of parents for our children. Let's elevate and lift them up rather than tear them down. And that is all I got to say. Make sure you like and subscribe, okay? And make sure you check out our website, blackgirlorda.com. I'll make sure I put it on the bottom for y'all. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and bye.